Welcome to Auditing ISO 27001 Physical Controls. In the next few minutes, we'll walk through how to audit the 14 physical controls in Annex A.7. These controls protect information through physical security measures including security perimeters, entry controls, equipment protection, secure disposal, and clear desk policies. Physical security is often overlooked in an era focused on cyber threats, but a breach that starts with physical access can bypass every technical control. Let's get started. Let's start with the controls that protect physical locations where information is processed and stored. These controls establish the physical boundaries and access restrictions for secure areas. For A.7.1, verify that physical security perimeters are defined around areas containing information and information processing facilities. Check that barriers are adequate for the classification of information within each zone. Key evidence includes annotated floor plans showing security zones, barrier specifications, and perimeter breach detection systems, such as alarms and CCTV. Walk the perimeter yourself to verify the documented boundaries match reality. For A.7.2, verify that secure areas are protected by appropriate entry controls to ensure only authorized personnel are allowed access. Check visitor management procedures, access logging, and anti-tailgating measures. Key evidence includes electronic access logs, visitor registration systems, badge or biometric access systems, and physical barriers such as turnstiles or man-traps. Test whether you can tailgate into secure areas during your site visit. For A.7.3, verify that physical security is designed and applied for offices, rooms, and facilities based on the sensitivity of what they contain. Server rooms need stronger controls than general offices. Key evidence includes a room classification list mapping rooms to security requirements, lock specifications and key or card management records, and evidence that room security is reviewed when usage changes. For A.7.4, verify that premises are continuously monitored for unauthorized physical access. Check CCTV coverage for completeness, verify that alarm systems are tested, and confirm that monitoring procedures define who watches what and when. Key evidence includes CCTV coverage maps showing all entry points and sensitive areas, alarm testing records, monitoring schedules, and footage retention periods that meet legal and operational requirements. These controls protect equipment and storage media throughout their life cycle. For environmental protection controls A.7.5 through 7, verify protection against natural disasters and environmental threats. Check that utilities such as power and cooling are reliable with adequate redundancy. Verify cabling security against interception and damage. Common findings include UPS systems that have never been tested under load, exposed network cabling accessible from public areas, and server rooms without adequate fire suppression. For equipment security controls A.7.8 and 9, verify that equipment is sited to reduce exposure to environmental threats and unauthorized access, that equipment left unattended is appropriately protected, and that off-site equipment has equivalent controls. Common findings include screens visible from external windows, workstations left unlocked when unattended despite policy, and laptops taken off-site without encryption. For A.7.10, verify controls throughout the storage media lifecycle including use, transport, and disposal. Check that a media register exists, that media is encrypted when containing sensitive information, that transport uses secure methods, and that disposal is verified. Common findings include no formal media register, disposal by regular waste bins rather than certified destruction, and unencrypted USB drives in circulation. For workplace controls A.7.11 through 14, verify clear desk and clear screen policies, equipment maintenance schedules, secure disposal or reuse of equipment, and supporting utility resilience. Common findings include clear desk policies that exist on paper but are visibly not enforced during site walkthroughs, incomplete maintenance records, and data not securely wiped before equipment disposal or reassignment. Now let's cover how to conduct an effective physical security site walkthrough, which is the most important audit technique for physical controls. The site walkthrough is where physical control audits are won or lost. Here is a structured approach. Start your walkthrough at the external perimeter. Examine fencing and gates for integrity and adequacy. Check external lighting for coverage, especially at entry points and loading areas. Verify CCTV coverage of the perimeter. Look for security signage. And critically, check waste disposal areas for improperly discarded documents or media. Dumpster diving remains a real threat and is one of the easiest things to check during a walkthrough. Move to entry points and reception. Test the access control system by observing normal entry procedures. Watch for tailgating opportunities. Verify the visitor management process by reviewing the visitor log and checking whether visitors are escorted. Check whether badges are consistently visible and whether staff challenge unrecognized individuals. Try to access restricted areas as a visitor to test whether controls actually prevent unauthorized entry. Walk through working areas with a critical eye. Check clean desk compliance by looking for sensitive documents left on desks, whiteboards with confidential information, and sticky notes with passwords. Verify that screens are not visible from windows or public areas. Check printer and copier areas for uncollected printouts containing sensitive information. These observations provide immediate, objective evidence of physical control effectiveness. Finally, examine secure areas including server rooms, data centers, archive rooms, and communication rooms. Verify that access is restricted to authorized personnel. Check environmental controls including temperature, humidity, fire suppression, and water detection. Verify equipment labeling and asset registers match physical reality. Check whether emergency exits from secure areas compromise security controls. And verify that visitors to secure areas are always escorted and logged. Collecting evidence for physical controls requires different techniques than document-based audit. Visual evidence is powerful for physical controls. Take photographs of findings such as unlocked server rooms, exposed cabling, or cleared desk violations with appropriate permission. Request CCTV footage samples to verify coverage claims. Annotate floor plans during your walkthrough to document what you observed in each area. Conduct clean desk spot checks at different times of day to assess consistency. System records provide quantitative evidence. Review access control logs for anomalies such as access outside business hours, failed access attempts, or access by terminated personnel. Verify CCTV footage retention meets stated policy. Check alarm activation and response records. And review equipment maintenance logs for completeness and timeliness. Cross-reference system records with your physical observations. Process testing verifies that physical security processes work in practice. Test the visitor sign-in process by observing a real visitor arrival. Trace the key or access card issuance process from request through approval to return. Follow the equipment disposal process from decommissioning through certified destruction. Review emergency evacuation drill records for frequency and lessons learned. Interview corroboration rounds out your evidence. Talk to security guards about their procedures, observation practices, and incident response. Interview facilities management about maintenance schedules and environmental monitoring. Ask random staff about physical security policies such as clean desk, visitor escorting, and tailgating awareness. And verify that physical security breach response procedures are known and practiced. Let's close with the most important lessons for auditing ISO 27001 physical controls. First, physical security is the foundation that all technical controls build upon. If an attacker gains physical access to a server room, network closet, or workstation, they can bypass firewalls, encryption, and access controls. Physical security is not outdated in a digital world. It remains the first line of defense. Second, the site walkthrough is your most powerful audit tool for physical controls. What you observe with your own eyes provides more reliable evidence than any documented procedure or policy. Clean desk violations, tailgating opportunities, and environmental control gaps are immediately visible during a thorough walkthrough. Third, test physical controls at different times if possible. Security posture at 10 a.m. on a Tuesday with full staffing may look very different from 7 p.m. on a Friday when most staff have left. After-hours access controls, clean desk compliance, and security guard vigilance often degrade outside core business hours. And fourth, never underestimate environmental controls. Fire suppression failures, UPS system malfunctions, and cooling breakdowns cause more data center outages than cyber attacks. Verify that environmental monitoring is active, that suppression systems are tested regularly, and that redundancy actually works when primary systems fail. That wraps up our overview of auditing ISO 27001 physical controls. In the full Udemy course, you'll get detailed audit guidance for all 14 physical controls, site walkthrough checklists and evidence collection templates, real-world scenarios covering offices, data centers, and multi-tenant buildings, and techniques for identifying physical security gaps that others miss. Use the course to add physical security expertise to your audit toolkit. Thank you for watching. If you found this overview helpful, subscribe to the channel for more content, and check the description for the link to the full course. See you in the next video.